An original dress worn by Mary Lincoln will provide a special treat for visitors to the Abraham Lincoln Presidential Museum during Mother's Day weekend, May 6th through 8th. Mary Lincoln wore her strawberry dress for her first portrait as First Lady at Matthew Brady's New York photography studio in May 1861, so its display on Mother's Day weekend will be the 150th anniversary of that photo session. The dress may be seen in the Presidential Museum's Blue Room exhibit, which features reproductions of ball gowns worn by Washington socialites in 1861. An enlarged copy of the Brady photo may be seen next to the strawberry dress. This will be the first time the fragile artifact has been displayed since 1985, when it was exhibited at the Old State Capitol State Historic Site in Springfield. Lincoln Collection Curator Dr. James Cornelius now provides some insight about Mary Todd Lincoln's strawberry dress. We hope to see you at the Abraham Lincoln Presidential Museum on Mother's Day weekend.
Hello, I'm James Cornelius, the curator of the Lincoln Collection here at Abraham Lincoln Presidential Library and Museum in Springfield, Illinois. This before us today is Mary Lincoln's strawberry dress. We are putting it on display for the first time in 26 years this coming Mother's Day weekend, Friday the 6th of May, Saturday the 7th, and Sunday the 8th. The museum will be open from 9 to 5 each day. We are expecting pretty good crowds. We are hoping for good crowds. There's been a lot of excitement and interest in this amongst the people who have heard the story already that we're putting it out, and we're proud to have it. It is one of only 2 dresses of Mary's that still exists from her more happy period. I guess 2 that you would call presentable, because her dress from Ford's Theater on the night that her husband was killed is also still in existence, although not a very cheerful event. This, though, shows her in perhaps their happiest period in Washington, which was in May of 1861. Yes, the Civil War had just begun. It was not yet expected, though, that the war would last more than a few months, if even that. There hadn't been the first real battle at Bull Run in late July yet, and so Mary Lincoln was trying to keep a good face on everything, just as her husband wanted her to do and everyone else, which was to continue life in the nation's capital as if there were no rebellion going on. And so the old Springfield tradition, the tradition in many small towns across America at that time, to hold a strawberry party in the season when the fruits are first starting to appear in the wild, namely mid-May in this part of the country, is a tradition that Mary continued in Washington, D.C. We believe that she may have gone out into the countryside near Washington, into Maryland, to have a little picnic with some friends to gather some strawberries, but we're not sure. It may as well have been simply an occasion to have a strawberry party at the White House with some friends. The dress itself is decorated with strawberries. We do not know where exactly Mary bought this dress. She could have ordered it from St. Louis before the Lincolns left Illinois. She could have acquired it in one of her first shopping trips as First Lady. She went along with her cousin Lizzie Grimsley to Philadelphia and New York and Boston in early May of 1861. That seems possible too. She could have ordered it from Chicago, being a more or less true Illinoisan by the time they left Illinois in February of 1861. But it is a beautiful item. It is a black silk. It is machine printed. It is not handmade. She didn't have the staff or the money for that. With small red strawberry fruits all over it. Those have retained their color pretty well. It also has the much larger, more noticeable printings of the fruit. These are much faded. Some of them are a little bit purple still, faded to white or a greenish white. Others have gone entirely white, but when it is fully laid out on Mother's Day weekend here, it will be easier to examine the entire pattern and see how much fading has occurred and to see how lovely the dress really is. The silk is in surprisingly good shape, given that the dress is exactly 150 years old, coming in May, or at least its first public appearance in May of 1861. And there are parts of it where, by being folded in the same pattern over some decades, the silk has begun to split. But we refold it, we rearrange it now and again as best we are able to try to prevent any more of that splitting. It has been asked, and it's a good question, can the dress be restored? Can it be reconditioned to look the way it looked when Mary Lincoln first wore it in May of 1861? The answer is yes. It would cost many tens of thousands of dollars, and it would require the replacement of large portions of it. It would mean essentially creating a new dress within or on top of the old dress. And we have decided that that really is not something that we can spend the money on, and not really something we want to do either. This is as close as we will have to Mary Lincoln's original dress. It has, we think, the original lace collar on it still. It is a beautiful ivory white lace. It has, we're pretty sure, replacement ruffs along the sleeves here in green and purple, although the colors do match quite well. We believe that the family, Mary's descendants who owned it until 1963, probably had those replaced at some point. And they did a good job, and they certainly look better than they would if they were original, because these would have cracked and split quite a bit more. She had a great sense of fashion, and almost all of her dresses are now gone. But this, from her first and perhaps happiest spring in Washington, is here for the public to come see. So we hope to see you on Mother's Day weekend in Springfield. Thanks.